the face of your candidate remains on the ballot paper. You won't participate. However, if it should come out that the people want the NPP and they vote based on the face of the candidate being on the ballot for the NPP, will you enjoy the spoils thereof?
That is the voice of the people. We can't change it.
You will take the spoils of an exercise.
This is the voice of the people. We can't change it. The people know what they want. The people know what they want, Nana. That will change. Nana.
But you do not want it because you think it's an illegal and unfair
not
process.
Necessarily. It's about processes and the procedure you have to pursue to win. And for us, we believe that where we had gotten to, it was easy work for the Electoral Commission to ensure that they go ahead and do what is expected of them.
Right.
And give the declaration over the 3 polling stations, which was outstanding. Mind you, we have not come here very easy. 2024 elections was very hectic. And you should appreciate that everybody who participated in that elections went in to win. And if we've come thus far, it's not new. EC was supposed to be strong and firm, but I see flip-flopping. And once we see flip-flopping, nobody will be happy with it.
Yeah.
So we were clear in our minds that we had won that election. There's a history to it, that this constituency, I mean, that notwithstanding that some constituencies who had never been won, this last elections had been taken over.
Yeah.
But this is clear that we are on course. And many things happened which have not been resolved. And we cannot get ourselves involved in this. Like Elvis said, the office of the Electoral Commission was burned down. Having heard of any investigations, having heard who'd been reprimanded, nothing. Crime gone unattended to is a blot on the state. And we need to ensure that some of these things are corrected. That aside, we believe that it is not an exercise we have to participate in because it won't help the country. It will not help us as the new patriotic party. So we will not participate in that matter. Let me be honest. Like my brother Kojo said, they believe that the chickens have come home to roast and that we are claiming that EC is poor. If EC behaves the way it is behaving now, everybody will say they are poor. We will always criticize you irrespective of who you are and where you stand. Because the point must be made clear. If the principle is A and you make it B, why shouldn't I voice it out? I have to voice it out. The EC, I don't know what happened. I said it here last week, that when they were threatened by the chairman of the Ports and Harbours Authority, my senior brother, the chairman of the NDC, that they were not fit for purpose. I didn't know whether they developed cold feet, what, because the deputy commissioner had been in parliament, meeting with parliamentarians in a committee of the whole. And that is how an EC is met in parliament. And the first deputy speaker would chair. And we will all sit down as a committee and discuss issues. And he was categorical that there was not going to be a rerun. And that all they were waiting for was protection from the Ghana Police Service. And then they will declare. So they gave us a clear definition of where they were. I.e., they had finished all their work. They just need that protection to pronounce what exercise they had undertaken. We went to sleep. The next morning, they had changed the narrative. What could we do? We must still stand at where we stood yesterday. If we also flip-flop, then we do not know what we are doing. And history will come to bite us that you flip-flopped. That was not expected of a group of your caliber. And so we said no.
But have you not flip-flopped though? Because it's the same EC whose decisions, I mean, in previous years, you welcomed.
Nana,
and this time you were against the decision of the EC.
Situate your question very well. Flip-flop where? In what manner? In what sense?
And in your support for the EC?
Oh, I said we follow principle. If EC did something and it is genuine and it is proper, why can't I say it? Why shouldn't I say it? That is not flip-flopping. But on a subject matter, which we say no, we will not go for a rerun. We believe we have won the election squarely. Declare for us. Like I narrated, events leading to the disruption are all criminal.
Right.
Nothing has happened to that.
Yeah.
You haven't pursued it. And you expect me to believe what you want to do? Do the necessary, take the necessary steps to assure me that you mean well.
Right.
You had all the protection. You came to us in Parliament. You told us, our representatives in Parliament, you met. You told them what the situation was. What changed? That's why I said, maybe they lost their spine when Mr. Asiedu Nketia, Honorable Asiedu Nketia, made his commentary on another network elsewhere, that they are not fit for purpose. And I'll tell you a very simple thing.
Right.
They are feeding into that narrative. And like Elvis said, if tomorrow ADC decides that we think that this EC must go, which has been their mantra, which has been a campaign statements they have already said, even if the People's Chief Justice today, they are treating the People's Chief Justice this way, what do you expect of them to do with the Electoral Commission?
Right.
And so for me, I will not say we should go for the election. I've seen it before. When Kojo and I went into Parliament, our brother Baba Jamal had a similar issue with my late colleague, the late Dr. Kofi Asare.
Right.
Asare. He was Kofi Asare was had an election with Baba Jamal at the same time, and it went. That was 6 polling stations. It wasn't 3, and we had to do a rerun in Nketia. But that's a different situation to this, and so we will not go back on our words. We just have to stay where we are, and we are not going to run the election. We won't run the election. EC must declare, followed procedure. Court gave orders that go and declare. We have nothing has changed. That order must be respected, and we should all believe in that.
But can the NPP go back to court on that order?
We try to injunct the EC on the steps it is taking. We've been thrown out. We don't have time. The time the EC gave to rerun the election is what tomorrow. Exactly. Court processes. Who is going to file? What expeditious time would you have for the court to take a decision?
But this was done ex parte, the injunction application.
Are we supposed to just be going to court because we believe we have good lawyers? No. If you take a decision, be quite consistent with yourself. Other than that, what you used, what I said, it says sometimes we flip-flop. People say, these people, they are not consistent.
Right.
We ought to be consistent.
Right. Let's take a few